Hello, my dear students. How are you all? So, today I welcome you on behalf of IITN GATE classes, an exclusive GATE coaching totally run by IIT ISC graduate on the video solution of GATE 2020 of the branch electrical on the subject control system. Okay, so we are going to solve all the questions that was asked to electrical branch in GATE 2020 for the subject control system. So, let us begin. So the first question, you can see this was question number 10 in the official question paper. So this was a very simple question. So what is the question? Consider a linear time system whose input RT and output YT are related by the following differential equation. They have given you the differential equation. The poles of this system are at. Okay. So they want to know the pole of this system where YT is your output, RT is your input. So tell me, if they given you this system as linear, so what will be the initial values here? Always remember this, whenever the system given is linear, so initial values for linear system is always equal to 0. Okay, so remember this. Now if I take this differential equation, which is d square y by dt square plus 4y is equal to 6, and take Laplace transform both sides, so what will it be? S square ys plus 4ys. Acha. So here there was 6r also. Okay, so this will be 6 r of s. Now what is ys by rs? Ys by rs is equal to 6 by s square plus 4. Now we know what is pole. Pole is basically the roots of denominator of the transfer function. So this is my transfer function. So what will be the roots of this characteristics equation? It will be equal to s equal to plus minus 2j. So your option A is correct. Okay, so the answer to this question is what? Option A. So again, this is a 1 mark question. They have asked which of the option is an equivalent representation of the signal flow graph shown here. They have given you the signal flow graph and they are asking you which of them is the equivalent signal flow graph. Okay, so if we see what they have done, you can check. Means if I want to write, see, there is one easy way and there is this tough way. Means I can say by directly looking in the option, you can see option D is correct. Why option D is correct? Look very carefully at this loop. Okay, this is a feedback loop. Now if I want to condense this feedback loop, how can I write? D by 1 minus CD. Why D minus D divided by 1 minus CD? If you see, this is a positive feedback. Okay, the forward path is D and the loop gain is what? It is DC. Okay, so even if I write the formula, so what it is? It is G divided by 1 minus GH for positive feedback. So what is G here? G is D. And what is feedback? Okay, I shouldn't be writing like this. Let me clear this. So if I want to write this, how can I write? Directly from SFG. So what is the forward path gain? It is D. Forward path gain minus loop gain. So what is the loop gain of this? It is DC. Okay, so if I write that, so now if I make the diagram, means the signal flow graph once again, so it will be looking something like this. here we will be having E. Okay, so now I can just multiply this. Why? Because these are just consecutive nodes, so I can multiply them. So you can see option D is your correct. This option is your correct answer. Okay. Or another thing, if you are not able to see this, what? You just calculate the transfer function. Okay. Calculate this as R, this as C. Okay. Capital CS and this is RS. Calculate CS by RS of this whole SFG and then step by step solve all the CS by RS of each of the options. You will see you will be getting same CS by RS as this and option D. Okay. So now this was actually a good question. Okay, a good question in the sense this is a lengthy question. So what is the question? Consider a negative unity feedback system with forward path transfer function given. They have given you the forward path transfer function K divided by S plus A, S minus B, S plus C. Okay, they have given you this transfer function where K, A, B, C are positive real number. They have also stated that K, A, B, C are positive real number. For a Nyquist path enclosing the entire imaginary axis and right half of S plane in clockwise direction. Okay, so they have given you this Nyquist contour also. They are also telling you about Nyquist contour. Okay, they are also stating about this Nyquist contour. So let me draw the Nyquist contour by red color. Okay, so they have given you this for a Nyquist path enclosing the entire imaginary axis. You can see this is extending from minus infinity, this extends to minus infinity to plus infinity, right half of S plane in the clockwise direction. Okay, in the clockwise direction also. You can see this is in clockwise direction. Okay, in the clockwise direction we are having. Okay, fine. The Nyquist plot of 1 plus GS. Okay, 1 plus GS. The Nyquist plot of 1 plus GS. Here it is not GS equal to minus 1. Here critical point is the origin. Okay, because they are asking for 1 plus GS. Encircles the origin of 1 plus GS. Okay, so origin. What will be the origin of 1 plus GS? It will be minus 1 J0. Okay, so they are also giving you about the information number of encirclement in the critical point. Okay, encircles the origin of 1 plus once in clockwise direction. Okay, number of encirclement is 1 in clockwise direction they have given and never passes through this origin for a certain value of k. Okay, and never passes through this origin for the certain value of k. Okay, fine. Then the number of poles of the closed loop lying in the open right half of S plane. Okay, so they want to know what is the number of poles of closed loop that are lying in the right half of S plane. Very simple question, but you need to understand. So here they have given you n. Okay, from this you can find number of open loop poles in right hand plane, right hand side of S plane, which is also known as what? My P in the formula. So if you remember this formula, n is equal to Z minus P, where P I have already written. What is Z? Z is number of closed loop pole in right hand side of S plane. Now if I put the values, here the number of encirclement is in which direction? in clockwise direction. Okay, here it is in clockwise direction. So now if I put the value, what will it be? 1 is equal to z, I don't know, minus p. What is p here? P, I can see it is 1. Okay, so what is the value of z that comes out? It is 2. So the number of closed loop poles in the right hand side of S plane is how many? It is 2. Basically this was a very simple question, but they have given you a lot of information. They have also told you about Nyquist contour and everything. Okay, simply they could have ended the question here itself. They could have told you, given this is the transfer function where k, a, b, c are positive. Okay, the number of encirclement is once to in the critical point clockwise direction, tell us the number of poles in the closed loop. Okay, they haven't asked you the question that directly and that much obviously. They have given you this long statements and they wanted you to decode the information. Okay, so this was also a simple, very simple question for 2 marks asked. Which of the following option is correct for the system shown below? So what it is, fourth order and stable. Okay, so they are asking you about the order of the system and stability. Okay, I will add one more thing here, that is the type. Okay, for this question we will also calculate the type. So first thing first, remember type we always calculate it for which system? We calculate it for open loop system. Okay, for GHSS. So what do we mean by type? Type means the number of poles that are situated in the origin of S plane. Okay, so if I do that, if I take GHS, what it is? 1 by S plus 1 S square into S plus 20, here it will be 20. So you can see what, if I plot the PZ map of this transfer function, how will it look? There is a repeated pole at S equal to 0, then we have a pole at S equal to minus 1, and then we have a pole at S equal to minus 20. So here we have 2 poles at origin, then at minus 1, then at minus 20. Okay, so the type of the system here is how much? Type is equal to 2. Now let us move on to the question. So what is they have asked? Order. So for calculating the order of this system, so we have to calculate the order for the closed loop system. Okay, so what will be the order? G divided by 1 plus GH. So if I calculate that, S square S plus 1, so here it will be again 20, so S plus 20. So what is, if I take the LCM, it will be coming out to be 1 divided by S square S plus 1 S plus 20 plus 20. So the order of the system is what? It is the highest power of S in the characteristics equation, or I can say it is the number of poles that are there in the closed loop systems. Okay, so the number of poles I can directly tell is what? As the maximum order of S here, it will be what? S to the power 4. So this will be fourth order. This will be fourth order system. Okay, this will be what? Fourth order system, because if I expand this, so what will it be? It will be S square plus 21S plus 20 plus 20. Okay, if I expand this, so I can see this will be multiplied by 1 by s to the power 4 plus 21 s cube plus 20 s square plus 20. Okay. So, fourth order. So, we have option A and option C. Now, we need to check whether it is stable or unstable system. So, you can see in the characteristics equation, okay, characteristics equation, what is the characteristics equation? S to the power 4 plus 21 s cube plus 20 s square plus 20. Okay. So, here in this characteristics equation, basically we have a missing term of s. Okay, we have a missing term. What is that? We don't have a term in s to the power 1. So, directly by Routh-Hurwitz criteria, I can say that this system will be unstable always. Always this system will be unstable. Why? Because there is a missing coefficient of s to the power 1. So, due to that the system will result to instability. Okay. So, this system is always unstable. So, your option C will be the correct answer. And if you people don't agree with me, then I will suggest you to draw the RH map and you will see that you will have a negative value in the first column of RH table. Okay. So, the next question they have asked is, consider a negative unity feedback system with forward path transfer function. This is the forward path transfer function for a negative unity feedback system. So, if I draw a negative unity feedback system, so this is my unity feedback system and this will be my GS, G of S, this is RS, this is CS and this is negative unity feedback system, where GS they have given you, GS is given as what? S square plus S plus 1 divided by S cube plus 2S square plus 2S plus K. Okay, they have given, where K is a positive real number. The value of K for which the system will have sum of its pole on imaginary axis. Okay, so they want you to know for what value of K this system, this closed loop system will have some pole on imaginary axis. Okay. So, first we find the characteristics equation. Okay. So, that will be 1 plus GH, which is equal to, if I solve this, S cube plus 2S square plus 2S plus K. I think I shouldn't be writing it directly because that will be not good. So, this I can write. Now, if I equate this to 0, what will I get? I will get the poles. Okay. So, okay, no, here we have S square plus S phi. So, that is S square plus S plus 1. Okay. So, now if I solve this, it will be S cube plus 2S square plus 2S plus K plus S square plus S plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So, this is the characteristics equation I am getting. Now, let me segregate the coefficients. So, S cube, segregating the coefficient of S square, it is what? 3S square plus 3S, okay, 3S plus K plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, fine. So, that is S cube plus 3S square plus 3S plus K plus 1 equal to 0, fine. Now, if I draw the Routh-Hurwitz of this characteristics equation, how will it look? Let me sketch it in the next page. So we will have terms of s cube, s square, s to the power 1 and s to the power 0. Fine. Now let me put the coefficients. So here first term will be 1, then the next will be 3. Why? Because the alternate terms we put, and here in s square it will be 3 and then k plus 1. Okay, fine. So here there is no coefficient, means 0 it is present. Now if I solve for s to the power 1, what will it be? It will be 9, 3 into 3 minus 1 into k plus 1, that will be k plus 1. Remember to always use bracket, okay, divided by this term, so it will be coming out to 3, and here it is multiplied, all multiplied to 0, so this will be 0. And again for this s to the power 0, this 9 minus bracket k plus 1 divided by 3 into k plus 1, and this will be what? This will be 0, and again we have to divide by this, so we will be getting k plus 1 only here, okay. Now they have asked you what? The value of k for which the system will have some of its pole on imaginary axis. Okay, so let me ask you, what is the criteria to get poles on imaginary axis? Very good. So you people thought the right thing. For getting pole on the imaginary axis, you should always remember there should be a row of 0. What? There should be a row of zeros at odd power of s. Okay. So there should be a row of 0 at odd power of s. So what are the odd powers of s present here? It is s cube and s to the power 1. Tell me, can I make a row of 0 here? No, never. I cannot do, because this is a definite value 1 and 3 always. But can I make here a row of 0? Yes, I can make a row of 0 over here. How? If I substitute this value equal to 0, so what will it be? It will be 9 equal to k plus 1, so k equal to 8. Okay, so k is equal to 8. This will result in the poles of the closed loop system, some of the poles of the closed loop system to lie in the imaginary axis. Okay, so how many poles will be there on the imaginary axis? 2. Why? Because imaginary poles or complex poles, they always occur in which? Conjugate pairs. They always occur in conjugate pairs. Okay. Now, okay, so answer to this question is 8. Okay, fine. Now let me ask you one more thing. Okay, one more thing. If I want to ask you, what will be the frequency of oscillation? Frequency of oscillation? Frequency of oscillation is very simple. Okay, if I want to calculate the frequency of oscillation, you just need to put this value of 8 in this auxiliary equation. Okay, this is known as auxiliary equation. So how will I fill it? 3s square plus k plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, 3s square, what is the value of k? It is 8, so 9 equal to 0. So s square plus 3 equal to 0. S is equal to plus minus j3. S is what? It is j omega. So omega is equal to plus minus root 3 radian per second, and we know that negative value of omega is not possible. So frequency of oscillation will be what? Root 3 radian per second. Okay. So this is actually the frequency of oscillation. Okay, so your frequency of oscillation is under root 3 radian per second. So the next question is what? A stable real linear time invariant system with single pole at P has transfer function Hs equal to s square plus 100 divided by s minus p with a DC gain of 5. The smallest positive frequency in radian per second at unity gain is closest to. So, they want to know the smallest positive frequency in radian per second at unity gain, okay, at unity gain. So, step by step we will be solving this question, okay. So, what is the first step that we should do? Again read the question. A stable real LTI system with single pole at P has transfer function this with a DC gain of 5, okay. So, what is DC gain? DC gain of a system is when I put, that is the steady state gain also I can say, okay. Steady state gains mean what? When my frequency is equal to 0, okay. When frequency is equal to 0 means what? Your s is equal to 0, okay. So, limit s tends to 0, Hs is equal to given what? It is given as 5, okay, fine. So, now let me solve this. So, limit s tends to 0, s square plus 100 divided by s minus p is equal to 5. So, now if I solve this, what is the value of p I get? So, this will be, okay, let us not solve it directly. So, if I put limit s tends to 0, it will be what? 100 by minus p is equal to 5, which implies p equal to minus 20, okay. So, I get the value of p as minus 20. Then what they have asked you? The smallest positive frequency in radian per second at unity gain, okay. So, first let me calculate the gain of this transfer function with the following value of p. So, if I want to calculate that, h of j omega is what? It will be j omega whole square plus 100 divided by j omega plus 20, minus minus gets plus. So, now this will be what? Minus omega square plus 100 divided by under root of omega square plus 20 square, okay. So, this is the gain, okay, or yeah, I can write it like this. So, magnitude of j omega is this. Now, what they want? The smallest positive frequency in radian per second at unity gain, okay. So, at unity gain they want to know what is the value of smallest possible omega. So, you have to just solve this now, okay. So, this is what? 100 minus omega square is equal to omega square plus 20 square under root. Taking square both sides, so it will be 100 minus omega square whole square is equal to omega square plus 400 . So, now if I solve this, okay, so it will be 10 to the power 4 plus omega to the power 4 minus 200 omega square is equal to omega square plus 400, okay, fine. So, now if I take this here, it will be what? 201 omega square plus, not plus, it will be omega square minus omega to the power 4 minus, okay, let us not solve this question like this, okay. Let us not solve, because this is a quadratic equation, it is coming in very complex form, okay. As they have given you the options, what we can do? We have 100 minus omega square divided by under root of omega square plus 400, okay. So, now put the values of option here and check which of them is coming out to be 1, okay. Which of them, option A, B, C, after putting this value, which of them is coming out to be 1. Okay, so let me calculate. So if I do that, so 100, yes, so option A, it directly gives you 0.999, whereas all the others, okay, they give you much smaller values. Okay, they give you much smaller values. So 11.08, this gives you minus 0.99 gain, and they have asked you smallest positive frequency in radian, which is equal to unity gain. Okay, so this is giving you minus 0.99 negative unity gain. Okay, so this will not be option, and we will not check, because we in examination hall, when we got one of the answer that is equal to 0.99957, so we will not check any other options, we will directly mark option A and we will move on to our next question. So we are done with all the questions that was asked to GATE 2020 for the paper EE of the subject control system. So I hope you people liked this session. So if there is any doubt anywhere, you can just comment and I will get back to you. Okay, thank you.